What if the endless mental chatter isn't a problem to fix, but a corridor leading into presence? Imagine a single breath opening a door in the mind and the habitual loop of thought becoming a gentle echo, no longer ruling the room. In the next half hour, learn 5 clear steps to quiet looping thoughts, enter sustained presence, and open channels to higher awareness. Walk away with practical techniques to notice loops, create inner space, shift frequency, align intention with quantum principles, and embody a field that shapes reality, and feel how each step connects to scientific ideas about observation and coherence. Stay with this unfolding invitation and sense how transformation isn't distant. It's a retuning of attention. Let's begin this descent into clarity where each moment becomes a threshold to presence. Begin by noticing the familiar pattern. A thought arises, strings itself to memory and feeling, and then loops on repeat. This looping is not a failure. It's a default habit of a brain wired for prediction. The mind seeks safety through repetition, which paradoxically builds a stronger sense of separateness. By observing the loop without chasing it, the energy that fuels repetition begins to thin. Grounded practices will teach how to notice without feeding. This is not about stopping thought, it's about changing relationship to thought, so the inner field grows quieter and more receptive. Keep this soft witnessing posture as a lantern while exploring the practical steps that follow. Consider a quantum metaphor. Particles exist in possibilities until observed. Similarly, thoughts hold many potential meanings until attention collapses one into reality. The observer effect suggests that observation shapes outcome. The act of gentle witnessing changes the state of the mind. Coherence matters. Coherent attention aligns neuronal firing into patterns that feel stable and capacious. We'll use this insight to design practices that intentionally observe, shift, and stabilize attention, transforming noisy loops into resonant clarity. Let this idea settle like a seed. Observation is both tool and gateway. Carry this idea forward as a guiding principle. Before the first active step, prepare an inner field, a comfortable seat, a soft gaze, a commitment to curiosity rather than judgment. Create a brief ritual, a hand on the heart, a 3-count inhalation that signals the nervous system to shift from reactivity to receptivity. This small boundary makes it easier to notice loops without being pulled. We'll move now into the 5 steps, each building on the last and threading quantum principles with grounded practices. Ease into posture. The journey into presence begins in the body as much as in awareness. Let's move on with a calm, steady breath. Step 1 begins with a humble act. Label the loop. When a repetitive thought appears, give it a simple name: planning, worry, story, and notice where it lives in the body. Labeling engages the prefrontal cortex and creates a small distance between observer and thought. In quantum terms, it's like placing a soft measurement that shifts the wave function without collapsing curiosity. Practice for 30 seconds. Notice a thought, name it, feel its tone, then breathe. This gentle naming weakens automatic reactivity and lights a path toward freedom. Keep this naming as a companion as we proceed to the next step. Step 2 is spatial. Cultivate inner distance. Use a simple spacer breath. Inhale for 4, hold for 2, exhale for 6 while imagining the thought settling on a cloud. This breath creates a pause between stimulus and response, allowing the nervous system to reset. In physics, creating space reduces interaction. Similarly, inner space reduces entanglement with the looping pattern. Grounding anchors senses, posture, a hand on the chest helps stabilize presence. Practice this breathing for a minute and notice how the loop's intensity drops. Let this embodied spaciousness be the scaffold for deeper shifts. Step 3 focuses on frequency. Shift the emotional tone that powers the loop. Emotions are vibrating states. Coherent emotions like gratitude or calm create a different field than anxiety. Combine breath with recalling a small, real moment of ease, a warm cup, a kind word, and let that tone fill the body. This practice amplifies coherence. Neuroscientific studies show coherence synchronizes heart and brain rhythms and promotes clarity. From a quantum perspective, changing the field alters what becomes probable. Practice this for a minute, then observe the inner landscape. This sets the stage for intentional alignment in the next chapter. Now integrate the first 3 steps. Name the thought. Create inner distance with the space or breath, and lift the emotional frequency. Together, they form a coherent practice that weakens loops and primes the system for deeper presence. These are simple, repeatable rituals for daily life applied at a desk, in the car, or before sleep. As patterns loosen, awareness grows like light through thin clouds. We'll now move toward alignment, how intentions and the physics of observation converge to support sustained presence. Step 4. Brings intention into the field. Set a clear, felt intention, not a wish, but a present tense stance. I call my attention to presence. Pair intention with a brief visualization. Sense attention as a beam of light sweeping gently through the body. In quantum terms, intention behaves like measurement. It biases probabilities toward coherent states. The key is gentle, sustained attention rather than forceful will. Anchor the intention with breath and a small embodied cue, 3 soft taps on the sternum to signal alignment. We'll practice this together now, creating a measurable shift in inner calibration. The 5th step moves from inner calibration to embodied action. Small aligned moves, brief focused presence when answering a message, a mindful pause before speaking, a conscious micro-choice in the day amplify the new field. Quantum manifestation isn't magical thinking, it's the consistent alignment of attention, emotion, and action that reshapes probabilities over time. Each micro-action reinforces neural pathways of presence and ripples through relationships and circumstances. Make a tiny commitment now, 1 small action to practice presence this afternoon, and note how the world responds. This embodied trajectory is where inner work becomes visible influence. Here is the moment when ideas converge. Observing alters state. Coherent attention organizes experience. Intention focuses probability. Action consolidates possibility. Neuroscience explains how attention sculpts circuits. Quantum metaphors illuminate how observation and coherence change potential outcomes. Spirit language describes this as awakening to presence. The aha is recognition that inner practice and scientific insight are 2 descriptions of the same art, learning to steward attention so awareness becomes creative. Let this realization wash over like cool water and allow curiosity to remain your guide. Prepare now for a short guided taste of presence. Take a breath. Name any looping thought gently. Breathe space around it. Shift to a calm frequency by recalling a small ease. Place a soft intention. I welcome presence. Feel attention as a warm beam moving through the heart and head. Notice how the loop loosens its grip when observed with steadiness rather than fear. Hold this for a few breaths, then let awareness rest like a quiet lake. This is the living proof presence is accessible now, in these simple steps. Carry this felt sense forward as we weave integration practices next. Integration shifts practice from an exercise to a way of living. Choose short anchors, morning breath, the pause before meals, a hand on the wheel, and weave the 5 steps into these moments. Over weeks, the nervous system learns new rhythms. Coherence becomes default rather than exception. Keep practices simple and repeatable so they survive real life. Remember, The field of influence grows not by intensity alone, but by frequency and consistency. Allow small repetitions to compound into profound change. We'll now explore how this sustained presence supports a life of clearer intention and adaptive action. As presence stabilizes, access to a broader sense of awareness opens. This isn't an escape from responsibility. It's an expansion of capacity to respond with clarity. Higher awareness refines intention so actions are aligned with deeper values, and coherence amplifies impact. In quantum language, a coherent field increases the probability of aligned outcomes. In practical terms, relationships become clearer, creative insights arrive more often, and stressful loops lose urgency. Let this possibility inspire small, brave experiments in daily life. Prefer curiosity over certainty, and notice how reality subtly recalibrates. A short ritual anchors this work: morning naming, spacer breath, frequency recall, intention set, and one aligned micro-action. It takes 5 minutes and establishes coherence for the day. Track small shifts: mood steadiness, fewer reactive conversations, clearer decisions. Use a journal to note emergent synchronicities and small changes in relationships. Over time, this ritual cultivates a field that not only quiets loops but also magnetizes opportunities aligned with inner clarity. The ritual is the practical bridge between intention and lived manifestation. Practice it consistently and observe the unfolding. We've moved from noticing to creating space, shifting frequency, aligning intention, and embodying action. Each step is practical and informed by the idea that observation and coherence shape experience. The path isn't perfection. It's a steady retuning of attention that opens higher awareness and practical influence. Take one clear action now. Practice the 5-minute ritual today. Leave a note below about one small result, and consider subscribing for more guided practices that blend science and spirit. Share this with someone who needs relief from looping thoughts. The journey continues, and everyday acts of presence carry this forward, and watch how the field of life responds.